My name is Yoza Mnyanda-Siboto. I am a musician and a filmmaker, and today I'm chilling with SA Creatives. So I think when I wake up every day, what really drives me is just this knowing and the sense of what I'm doing is my destiny and it's my calling, and that really just propels me and keeps me going, because I feel like I don't really have a choice in the matter. Like, this is what God wants me to do and God's making me do it. So yeah. Okay, wow. So in terms of my journey, I've always been a musician. Like, I've sang since I was about 6 years old. So that's always been a big part of my life. And then I think in terms of filmmaking, I've always been a big fan of movies, a big fan of TV. So that kind of, also played a part. And then I went to university and I studied screen production. And then I was always just doing music on the side. And I guess I just continued up until this point, just pushing those two things. And yeah, they're both what I love. I honestly don't think I've found the balance yet. I'm still finding it, but I'm also realizing that these things weave into each other. I used to think that I have to separate myself making music from me being a mom, but sometimes I have to bring my daughter to the studio, or sometimes my daughter's making a noise in the background while I'm pitching on a Zoom. So it's this is my life, and I'm just gonna try do what I do. But I do try keep work to Monday to Friday. I think as creatives, work sometimes seeps into, there are no days, you wake up when you wake up. Saturday is the same as Monday sometimes in terms of workload and what you're doing, but I do try now to keep it to a Monday to Friday kind of vibe, and then keep the weekend for my family pretty much. In terms of queer people and femmes being included in the film industry, look, the change is little by little. You do see a bit more inclusivity, but it's nowhere near where it has to be, I don't think. I still think a lot of change needs to happen. It's still like Boysville up in there. So yeah, pretty much. Your techniques and strategies. I honestly don't have techniques and strategies when it comes to navigating the industry and all the different fields that I'm in. I think I just keep it as me and as authentic as possible, even if that's a bit awkward sometimes. I think the only way that I can sustain doing more than one thing is to just be me throughout. So that's my strategy, I guess. I think the most memorable thing I've directed is Shekinah's Tides music video, just because of the whole experience behind it. We didn't know each other. She heard of me from someone, and then pretty much called me one day, and then the next day she was literally picking me up, and then we drove to KZN, to the middle of nowhere. We camped while we made the video. It was a super organic, bonding, beautiful experience. So I think, yeah, that's my most memorable. It was one of my first videos, so technically it's not perfect or whatever, but in terms of the experience and how I grew in confidence, I think that's my most memorable. Music-wise, I don't have as much self-doubt as I do in terms of directing. Maybe it's because I've been doing music for longer, so I kind of know myself more. But in terms of directing, oh man, there are several moments that have caused self-doubt. Just the set environment sometimes can be a bit tense, or I struggle a bit with especially white men in that space, and just talking down on you, or not really respecting you as a director, always second guessing what you say, so that makes you second guess yourself. So that's kind of my struggle, and it really feeds into the imposter syndrome and the anxiety, but I'm really working on being okay, well, you say that, but I say this, so how about we do that? Yeah? So yeah, that's my answer. I think in terms of pursuing your career while having a family and having all these family responsibilities, I think first of all, outside of myself, a great support system is obviously amazing. I have the best husband in the world. I have the best mom in the world that helps out. I have an amazing helper. So I'm not alone. I don't want to pretend that I am, and that I'm doing this all by myself. So I have an amazing support system. But I also think continue pursuing your dreams. I feel when you get pregnant or when you have children, people like me myself, when I felt pregnant the first time, I was like, oh my word, it's over. I might as well just pack my bags and go back to the Eastern Cape. But it doesn't mean that at all. Just like continue. I was pregnant in the studio. I was pregnant on set, heavily pregnant on set. Just do you, keep going, keep following it. Don't let it stop you, pretty much, and include your children, include your family in what you do. My daughter's my biggest critic. She watches all the things I edit. She listens to the music that I make, and she's like, yeah, or she's like, yeah. So yeah, just like involve your children in what you do. If you have to take your child to set, take your child to set. If you have to take your child to a recce, take your child to a recce. If you have to take your child to studio, take your child to studio. Just keep doing it. So my plans for the rest of the year are pretty much focusing more on music. So we've been in studio, we have cool stuff coming, lots of collaborating. And then in terms of film, I really want to make more music videos. There's not a lot of money in there, but like I just want to collaborate. I just want to have fun again. I think COVID put us sort of like in a state of survival. I started thinking more like, I need to pay my bills. What can I do to pay my bills kind of thing. But now I really just want to get back into a space of like passion projects, collaborating with friends, just making really beautiful stuff that like my heart's really into. So yeah, that's me for the rest of the year. Lots more music and lots more beautiful stuff.